Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And thank you for being here, sharing your energy. I truly appreciate it. I really do. I love that intro. I always love those intros. They sound like I'm in an auction. 1, 2, going for 3. Oh, maybe that sounds like horses, but anyway. Today I feel playful. Laughter is coming through, so you might know and you might guess, maybe not. It's a inner child reading. Woohoo! Today's download is I give my inner child unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. Oh, how beautiful is that? I'm a big fan of healing the inner child. I'm a big fan in healing that part of who we are, because a lot of the things we have in adulthood and a lot of either the setbacks or limiting beliefs stem from our childhood, stem from our trauma as children. So trauma that we got and wounds that we got as children, like abandonment issues, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of failure. Because for other reasons, for example, you fear failure because you needed to be perfect, you were abandoned because of XYZ. But if you do the work, then at least you get to understand and you get to see things at a different perspective. Because I did the work also. I did the work and I realized that actually my mom had me when I've said this story before a couple of times. My mom had me when she was 16, and in her having me when she was 16, it meant a lot of things for me. Like one of them was when you're in the womb, I felt I didn't belong because my mom was 15 when she got pregnant with me. So therefore, it's natural to feel like she doesn't belong. And also being a 15-year-old, and my grandmother was married off at 16. So now my grandmother is looking at my mom like, oh my goodness, how could dare you have a child at 15? Now you're repeating the pattern. And that's when then you realize and we do all that work that, whoa, some of the things are just generational. Some of the things are not even about you. And you have compassion after that. You have compassion and you're like, oh my goodness, I've been carrying this. First of all, you're going to realize that some things are just not yours. They're somebody else's. And that's why I really feel like it's important to, and it's not blame game. It's not playing the blame game per se. Actually, not playing the blame game, period. Whew. You just, healed. You take what belongs to you and you just leave what does not belong to you. With that being said, please, if this reading does not resonate with you, leave it with love, with a lot of love. And I always say with laughter because it's in a child, and say thank you for bumping into it. So yeah, that's that for if it doesn't resonate. But yeah, let's get into the inner child reading where, you're at that point now, you give your inner child unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. And I think this is their way of saying thank you. Let's see what, my apologies, I don't know where that stopped, at what point that stopped. So just going back to the reading that this reading is about, I give my inner child unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. And this reading just shows you what you've done for your inner child. That's saying thank you to you now, or saying that, look, recognize and acknowledge and accept this, that this is what you've done. Almost like it's how far in the journey you've come. And it says one of the things you've done is that I talk to my inner child using reassuring voice. So you've given your inner child that reassuring voice, and now it feels the unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. It's smiling and saying, you know what, I'm within you. I'm grateful to you for reparenting me. I'm grateful to you for having done the work where you look back and you journal, or you do any reparenting exercise, for example, where you do meditation, where you do what are those? I nearly said past life regression because now we're not dealing with the inner child, we're dealing with past life, right? Where you've done the work, where now you really went through and went back and did therapy, whatever form of therapy that you did, to say, look, I'm going to work on these wounds, I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to reparent my inner child, and give it the loving, reassuring voice that it needs, and be there for it, And now it does understand and it does feel that you're giving it unconditional love. Sorry, that's my son coming home, and the hello is, let's just say it as your inner child saying, hello, I'm here, I've arrived, remember me, we're together now, I've come home. That is funny, actually. And I think what it loves about it is that now it gets to express and feel joy, it gets to have that sacral chakra, the yellow chakra, to express itself and its creativity and who it really is, to get to fully be the person or the human being that it was supposed to be, like that person you probably had lost along the way. And now that it feels like you gave it love, through the reassuring voice, reparenting it, giving it unconditional love, you listen to it. And now it's got this amazing joy where it's coming from the heart and it's this pure green energy that is like, I am really, truly grateful for what you've done to me. I truly appreciate what you've done for me. And now you've reintegrated me into your life. So, and you've kept me in your heart space. You've kept me in your heart space, and we work together now. And sometimes, please, guys, don't have if it feels psychological, please see a mental health practitioner, because I'm not one. I don't give such advice, but if it does feel like it's speaking to two people and you've got medical health medical issues, please see a professional. This is not a professional. What I'm talking about here is the parts of that subconscious mind where spiritual, should I say, dare say spiritual part of life, of healing the inner child, and through the seeing the healthcare professional, you're gonna find parts of that inner child in there. Then you're gonna reparent it. And maybe there's someone out there who's going through that and doesn't know what's bothering them and what are the things. And let this perhaps be that trigger, not triggering, but the catalyst to that transformation for your inner child. Um, and that work that we need to do for the inner child, I'm saying, please forgive me. What else needs to come out for the inner child? So I just want to know what are the things, so that you recognize the things that your inner child then said you did for them. So you did the reassuring voice, and this has led you to recreating positive childhood memories, that you can relive. Like, for example, I always have, my story is I once asked my mom for a Barbie and she didn't have money for the Barbie. I always recreate that moment where I'm like, now, okay, my mom bought me that Barbie. My mom bought me that Barbie and she could afford it. And sometimes I've recreated my whole childhood, because I mean, having a child with a mom that's 16, but that is also not done from a wounded perspective, but from, oh, I would have loved this, hugging, that's how I got to reparent, hugging myself when I needed this, speaking to myself or my inner child, to myself as the younger self when I was angry and wanting to be seen and acknowledged, So that helped me a lot in my healing journey. And if you guided to it, if you want to, there is I've also created workbooks. I also create workbooks, and part of the workbooks I've created is healing the inner child. So there you'll get activities that you can do, and you write about them. So it's not just saying go have ice cream. You write about it. You write about how it made you feel, what part of your inner child um, feels, was reassured when you did this. I mean, there was a time where I was so angry, because I've always said this, my inner child gets so angry. Gets so angry. And because I was not seen, not heard when I was growing up, and I used to cry when my mom used to leave for boarding school, that the other day I actually went and I sat by the waterfall. And the water was so calming that I processed things way faster than if I didn't go to that waterfall, if I didn't go into nature. Because then it needed that groundedness. It needed that part of me, that part of it that says you belong here. Remember, you belong here. So the other thing you did was you made them feel safe, you know. And this is by, giving affection, that oxytocin that your inner child probably wanted when you were little, is that you've given that to yourself now. Now you feel safe. Now you feel secure. Now you feel connected. Now you're trusting some more, which goes back to the reassurance, the loving voice, the reparenting unconditionally, listening to your inner child, um, listening to the wounded inner child. So now it says all those things that you did where you think that you were doing them for granted have come to a point now where I feel loved and I feel accepted. Please recognize that now I'm loved. Um, I feel like I belong because you did all of this for me. You did all of this for us. So now we integrated, and now when I come out crying, you will know what to do with me. You will know what to do for me. And I completely understand, that life is a roller coaster ride. And you, you've just done this with so much. I have the word grace. And I want to thank you for it. I truly want to thank you for it. And that's your inner child speaking to you. For all that work you've done, it's recognizing you and saying thank you for it because you've given me unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. So I will leave this reading here and I will say, until next time, goodbye. Oh, there's one more thing. The message is allow your intuition to take the wheel in your life and um, let the fairy and let it ferry you to your true north. I guess let the fairies. Oh, there's someone out there who's guided by the fairies. I guess let the fairies take you to your true north. Let your inner child be guided by the fairies to take you to your best self and the best version of who you are. Because they are happy. They probably sit with fairies wherever they're sitting now, and you probably every time you've built a safe space in with fairies and surrounded by fairies, and it's so beautiful actually. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Actually, spirit, the inner child. Truly appreciate you being here. Until next time, guys. I truly appreciate you being here and exchanging your energy with me. Take care and always remember to be bold, to be beautiful, to be you.